gentlemen.
How are we doing today? It is a pleasure as always.
Blaine, Leduit, Chandi, I formally apologize. I did not want to stop that party going. I wanted to see some NASCAR NT get ripped. Well, we did have a little turn and cough inspection that had to be underway. I think Leduit nailed it there. Good morning to you, D-Row Dad. But nevertheless, stop it, you Leduit. Whew. All right. I don't know where to start today. It's a great Friday. It's day 2 of our 5 days of playoff football. We started off with an absolute bang last night. Go Irish, and we'll get to that game in a second. Here's what we got on the table. Of course, maybe what most people are here for, slab or no slab, happening at 10 a.m., assuming we can get a trivia question. It'll be an NFL playoff-themed trivia question today.
You think you're going to stump the viewers today?
You know, I've been trying to make it a little bit easier.
Because my first time we were here, we stumped the viewers, and then we didn't even know what to do after.
I've been trying to make it a little bit easier for people. I want to give away some slabs.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not here, but I do want to make it a little bit challenging. So that's a little preview there. At 10 a.m., our trivia question, and then our first giveaway, our second giveaway at 10:45 a.m. We're going to break down Notre Dame, a little reaction from Notre Dame, Penn State last night. James Franklin still can't win a big one. Look ahead a little bit tonight to Ohio State, Texas. Yeah, give me a break. Then we are going to look ahead. We're going to rank the matchups in this first round of the NFL playoffs from least excited to most excited. From there, we're going to look at each matchup in the NFL Wildcard. And of course, it is definitive release day today. I know some of these products come out and they can be very hit or miss. I was looking at definitive, Aaron, and this thing looks sweet just from a car design standpoint.
I was in the gym this morning, and between sets, I'm studying my checklist, looking over everything. I am excited to get into the definitive today, especially a release day with definitive. Again, every product for me is a new product.
True.
So every time I get to come on a release day, I get to see something new. So it's really exciting. Looking forward to getting into that. 26 spots remaining. I see Blaine has taken down 3. Appreciate you, Blaine. Godzilla's on the Angels as well. So thank you, guys. Let's keep working down those spots.
There we go.
Me and Patty will be working on that from 11 to 7 today.
Yes, there you go. It's already in our store, guys. Definitive debut mixer in the store. Hop on in if you guys are looking to get into that. We'll do a little deeper dive into definitive in just a moment here, but we got to start with a big one last night. Aaron, we came on here. The chat was all Irished up.
Yeah.
I was all Irished up. We all took Notre Dame. It was going to be...
Everyone during our show yesterday, during the day, that was my pressing question. Who do we got today? Who do we got today? Everyone in the chat was on Notre Dame. So I think a lot of people in the Suncoast sports community,
which is wild,
made some decent money last night.
Which is wild because I don't know if you were paying attention, if anyone out there noticed this. It came out yesterday. 2 wild reports happened during the day yesterday. The first was fake, was that Drew Allard was on a yacht in Miami. People believed it. It was absolutely not true. Like during the day yesterday, the second report,
There's
which
a lot
was
of kids
true,
who look like Drew Allard that are in Kappa Sig at Miami that could have been on that yacht. So don't get
Drew Allard.
Yeah, not
Come
Drew
on.
Allard. Don't get it twisted. Drew Allard's a typical looking frat kid at Miami. So
second thing. The Notre Dame football team yesterday apparently came down with the flu. There was the flu going around the locker room at Notre Dame.
Didn't know this.
The news got broke yesterday. The line went from Notre Dame -1.5 when I woke up, and I took Notre Dame at -1.5 on the show yesterday. By the time the game kicked off, Penn State were 1.5-point favorites.
Really? I got Notre Dame at exactly even around 4 o'clock yesterday.
Okay. That was the right time to get in.
Yeah.
I had to double down a little bit. Alan says Notre Dame -2.5. There we go, Alan.
Well done, Alan.
This game, look, I'm not going to say it was better than the Arizona State-Texas game. I still think that Arizona State-Texas game was the best game so far at the college football playoff. But oh my goodness, dude. For as bad as the college football playoff started with this 12-team format, I think we have seen the vindication for the College Football Playoff Committee. This game was absolute cinema.
Yeah. And it was, in a weird way, though. Like, I like comparing bad, entertaining stuff to Sharknado.
What? All right, wow, go ahead.
Because it's so entertaining, but, it's like the quality of the cinema is poor. Now, I'm not going to say yesterday was a Sharknado level of poor.
Get out of here.
But the X's and O's were very interesting to me the whole game because I felt like there were a lot of things that both teams could have done a lot better on the offensive side of the ball that did not happen until late in the second half.
So, okay. First half was not great. Don't get me wrong. First half was a little bit boring, a little bit sleepy. But that to me is just kind of the classic, heavyweight prize fight kind of trope.
We got the game we asked for yesterday. I enjoyed every second of that game. I'm just saying it wasn't pretty. It wasn't an attractive football game.
Good morning, On Point. Good morning, Friedline. What's going on, guys? D-Rodad says kind of like Rocky IV. Not sure how the Irish won that game, says On Point Cards. Well, it's very simple to me, On Point. It's very simple. Game came down to Drew Aller. And he threw a terrible interception with 48 seconds left.
That is, I can't sum it up any better. Usually I have a lot of words to say. I've got nothing on that one. I mean, you give the guy the ball. You have one thing you cannot do. One thing you cannot do is turn the ball over. You can go 3 and out and punt the ball away. You can run around in circles and take time off the clock. You can do whatever you want. The only thing you cannot do here is turn the ball over in your territory. No fumbles, no interceptions. What does Drew Lock do? Immediately.
Drew Aller.
Jeez, Aaron.
I got you. You're a big Drew Lock guy.
I am a big Drew Lock guy, but what does Drew Aller do? Oh, let me just roll left off my back foot, falling Mahomes, about to take a massive lick from a 315-pounder. Yeah, let me just sling this over the middle.
Now, I know you play a lot of NCAA 25. I know everyone, we've played Madden before. That was one of the most Madden interceptions I have ever seen. When you're playing the game and your controller starts to vibrate because you're getting pressure and you just hit square.
It was one of those things where you press the button and then you're like, oh, I just threw a pick.
The second you press the button, you're like, what was I thinking?
And then everything slows down as soon as the defender touches it. The camera swirls around, does a 180. Every moment in time slows down as you know you threw the pick. And the best part of it, not the best part, because again, I'm not going to prey on the kid's downfall, but I mean, he literally, just his initial reaction, he was like everyone. He was just like,
oh, man. Yeah, no.
I feel bad for the kid.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the kid because obviously no one wants that to happen. The kid's trying his butt off. He's doing everything in his power to win that game. Just a bad game and a bad decision at the worst possible time.
So, I mean, this was kind of my next question. The chat's beating me to it here. Drew Aller going to come back to school, and he said a month ago he planned on doing it. This, I think, confirms it's going to happen. But honestly, Aaron, this confirms my suspicion. Like, I don't know if you caught our breakdown yesterday. I said Drew Aller. They're talking NFL this, NFL that for Aller. I look at Drew Aller. I see Sean Clifford. I see Christian Hackenberg.
It's not an NFL quarterback. There is nothing about him that says to me NFL quarterback besides his size.
So you said something. I totally disagree with how you call it a Sharknado-esque game. I understand where you're coming from because there was a lot of slop offensively.
That's what I'm saying. It was slop.
But I will look at it the other way. This was a game where the defenses on both sides of the ball were elite, and this game came down to a few explosive plays. The things in the middle were just kind of slop. Yeah. Both interceptions in the fourth quarter.
Great defensive plays.
Exactly. Even the one that got called back for interference from Notre Dame.
I'm not taking any. I think I probably phrased that wrong. I'm not taking anything away from the game because the defenses were fantastic as we expected. The offense were about as expected. I'm just saying it was sloppy. It was not pristine football. That does not mean that it was not an outstanding football game. I think everyone enjoyed watching it, including myself.
You know, this is a game, to me, where you have to remember that adrenaline is a magic thing.
Oh, my goodness.
Because first half, Jeremiah Love did not have a great game. Let's call a spade a spade. He's hurt. He might be sick also. He says before the game, listen, I'm not going to hold much back. I'm healthy enough to play, but I'm not going to hurdle. And look, it wasn't like he got his team 2 yards, but he's hurdling over defenders in that last few minutes of the game.
The thing that
all of a sudden that knee looked pretty good.
The thing that no one caught about that play, one of the single most impressive athletic feats I've ever seen. If you watch that play back, so his right knee is the injured one.
Yeah.
With the brace, he takes off his left foot, hurdles the defender, and then lands on his left. He did not come down on his right. So he basically did a one-legged hop.
I'm going to have to rewatch
over the defender. If you rewatch it, he went up off of his left and then came down onto his left, and his right came down slowly to limit injury.
That's crazy.
Let
me watch that again.
They said that was his 6th hurdle of the season.
I heard that. Yeah. Guy's a freak out there.
So, yeah.
If you get the chance, watch
that back, though.
I think he'll be ready to go for the championship game.
I think he'll be very good in that second.
We got On Point saying Drew Aller could be an NFL talent with his size, and I don't disagree with that. Glad he's going to stay another year for his draft stock's sake.
I don't think it matters, to be completely honest.
We got Badger coming on saying, wish I had a similar knee injury. Langley and Badger also saying, hail to the Redskins, hail to the Commanders this week. Good morning, B. Langley. We will be breaking that game down in just a few moments. So, to put a pin on this game last night, couple things. Saw this tweet, saw this stat. It's awesome, dude. I'm a James Franklin hater. I'm a Penn State hater. How about this? Marcus Freeman in the last 8 days has more wins over top 5 opponents than James Franklin does in his entire career.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate one for James.
It's unfortunate. Sometimes you got to take a long, hard look in the mirror and say, hey, maybe there's no fortunate, there's no unfortunate. He's a hell of a recruiter. You know, I respect how he leads his men going to their draft days, to their personal houses, driving hours just to, have that personal connection, staying in touch with Saquon, all that. He's built this Penn State program up, but dude, that guy just cannot win a big game. 1-15 against top 5 opponents. It's getting impressive. Yeah. Honestly, at a certain point, it's getting impressive. To anyone out there who took Penn State money line, respectfully, what were you thinking? I know it looked good for a long time. Having said this,
it's insanity.
I don't really know, right, if you can blame James Franklin for that loss.
No, you can't. He's not on the field.
Right. At the end of the day, I think he put his team in a good position. Drew Aller just threw that interception. This game was cinema, though, Aaron, because, look, that interception, it put Notre Dame in a great position to win. But, I mean, look, shout out to ESPN. I know they don't need more flowers. I have been in these production crews before in college. I'm sure you have, too. The camera work of going over, what's his name, Mason Jeter? It's something Jeter.
Yes,
it's not Derek. Mason Jeter on the sideline, just, you could see him. I couldn't find a clip on Twitter today. I'm texting my buddies. I'm sure everyone. Mitch Jeter, thank you. I knew it was M. Jeter. Thank you, on point. Mitch Jeter. That kid was crapping his pants on the sideline. They showed that stat. Game-winning kicks, 0-4 in college football playoff history.
Respect to him, because I don't know if anyone's been watching. I mean, I'm not going to act like I've watched every Notre Dame game this year, but they've been showing the statistics. He was one of the worst kickers in the whole country this year. Apparently, he was dealing with a groin injury. So that allowed Notre Dame to apparently, their special teams is extremely feared in the realm of fake punts, because they've been running tons of fake punts this season because their inability to kick. But Jeter, who was 6 of 12 during the regular season on field goals, is now 7 of 8 during the college football playoff.
Really?
Yep.
On point says, whenever he comes in the kick, my son and I both do the Jeter, Mitch Jeter, and the Yankees coming in to kick for the Irish, number 98. Mitchell Jeter. That's awesome, on point. I like that a lot. Let's play it back, Ben. The kick that won the game for Notre Dame last night. This is just cinema. After seeing this young man respectfully poop his pants on the sideline multiple times, there is no way that kick ended up going in. I am watching this.
I was so happily surprised for the kid.
And how about his dad on the sideline?
Can I ask Penn State a question here?
Oh, boy.
Why do they have two guys back? Why would you have 2 guys back? Are they faking this thing?
I don't know.
In what world are they faking this thing?
And maybe you're right.
You have 2 extra rushers off the edge there.
And that, my friend, potentially, to your point about Freeman, and come on, that's why we watch sports. That's why we watch sports. By the way, putting the pin in the Jeter thing, his father, a chiropractor, who would fly to go see him and work on him so he could get his body right for this moment. I love sports, man. How can you
not be romantic about college football?
The fans in the background think, wait, one more time. Let me see what, I've never seen what On Point says. So Penn State fans in the background, they think it's going wide right, because it looks like it's going wide right. And then it curves to the left.
All of his kicks started out to the right.
All right, let's see the fans in the background. Oh, I didn't see it as much. You saw it? The color.
Everything he kicked started right, hooked towards the middle. It was obviously, I'm assuming the wind was blowing right to left.
I always think these games are indoors, but this was in Miami. This was an outdoor game.
For sure.
So there you go.
It was actually beautiful because of the cold wave across the country right now. It was beautiful football weather in Miami.
50 degrees.
It was like nice chill right there. Very nice.
So listen, obviously Marcus Freeman, right? I am ready to crown him, honestly. Like, I don't want to say next Nick Saban. I don't want to go that far.
I'm getting close. I'm not there yet.
I am getting very, very close. I mean, this is one of the best coaching jobs I think I have ever seen on a collegiate level, because all these other guys who we've seen. It's like they're so established between Nick Saban, right? Between Kirby Smart, right? You go in basketball, guys like Coach K, Bill Self. We are witnessing right now the origin story of, I think, the next great coach in college football, at least. 38 years old. And I'm not the first person to say it, and this is going to be overused, I know, by many people. The fact you lose to Northern Illinois at home this season, and to be able to rally your troops and get this far in the season, Aaron, my question is, when, not if, when does Marcus Freeman coach in the NFL? Because to me, it's just a matter of time. It certainly won't be next year.
Yeah.
All right, this guy is going to run this out.
He just signed an extension, didn't he?
I believe he did.
I think he's going to fulfill the extension. I want to say it's 4 years. If someone wants to confirm or tell me I'm an idiot, let me know. But I believe it's 4 years. So, for starters, at least 4 years. I would say probably after that contract is fair, especially if it's going well. I mean, he'd be 43 then.
That's crazy.
I think it is important. I think he's probably a little young for the NFL. I'm not saying that he couldn't have success, but I do think it's important to be a little bit older than your players. So I would say after that, I think he's got some unfinished business here. He's got a lot of recruits
100%.
that he's responsible for bringing in. He doesn't want to tarnish any kind of reputation by leaving guys who he's committed to. So I think he's definitely got, a few more recruiting cycles to kind of finish up and do. But, I mean, the NFL is most likely salivating at the opportunity to make him a head coach, because one of the things I would say about him that I really appreciate is I think he handles the media better than any coach in college football right now. His interviews are spot on. He runs the interviews himself. They only ask him one question. They'll ask, like yesterday, they asked him, Riley Leonard, how's he doing? One short answer. All right, what do we need to do? And then he, instead of having like the sideline reporter ask, what do you need to do better? What are you doing poorly? He just answers them before you even ask. He just goes, here's what we did well, here's what we did bad. He's eloquently spoken. I really enjoy listening to him talk.
I feel like he's become America's sweetheart, low-key, over these last couple of weeks. He's so handsome, Come on now. Good for Marcus Freeman.
He's like the Sam Levitt of NCAA coaches.
All right, we got a couple big takes here in the chat. On Point and Friedline going back and forth, saying, worried about Freeman going to Ohio State. Look, Freeline, look at his hairline. I told you yesterday, James Franklin was begging for it in that press conference. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't see him going to Ohio State. Nah. I get what you're saying, being an alum. Could be some sort of dream job here. If it's money you're worried about, I saw something today. Now, I haven't confirmed this. I just saw this before going on the show on Twitter. Notre Dame gets $20 million for making the college football playoff championship.
Interesting.
Because they're an independent, they keep all $20 million.
Wow.
There's no conference share. So, look, if we're worried about money with Marcus Freeman, baby. I don't think he's got to have to worry about any money over there.
That 2027 recruiting class might be the greatest ever assembled with that 20 mil.
That's what I'm talking about. Don't have to share that with Mr. SEC. Yeah. All right, let's get into this game tonight. I think this is going to be, no matter what, right? Texas or Ohio State, I think they are both favored already on the look-ahead lines. The look-ahead lines are out. They have Ohio State as a 7.5 favorite. I want to say Texas 2.5-point favorite against Notre Dame. Regardless of who wins tonight, I do think we will get a decent, and I mean a decent, national championship game. Notre Dame's a tough team. But tonight, some are saying more talent in the skill position game. Ohio State and Texas. First things first, 6-point spread. Which game were you looking forward to most? I know Jason and I were looking forward to last night. It lived up to the hype. I'm going to say this right now. I have no official bet on tonight's game. I'm not that confident.
I don't either. I'm not loving the odds either way.
What, 6 points?
Yeah, I think that's a little much. I mean, just in terms of big names, star-studded, bright lights, tonight's the game you want to be tuned into in that. In terms of, the most guys are going to be seen in the NFL going forward, all that stuff.
Yep.
More money in this game, the two big name conferences, SEC versus Big Ten. It's what everyone wants to see. That being said, I wouldn't be shocked if it's not as high quality of a game as yesterday's. I think the fundamentals in tonight's game might suffer a bit. I think it's going to be a little more flashy.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are going to be wanting to make the big play as opposed to the right play. And I think it might take this game some time to get off the ground before it gets going.
What do you mean by that? Like slow start and then all of a sudden just...
I think it's going to be a slow start for both teams. I think it's going to be a feeling out process where it's going to be a lot of run.
Yeah.
Try to take a play action shot. Try to go over the top. Might not work. You might see a couple quick 3-and-outs. But after that, I think the offenses get going.
So, all right, 3 quarterbacks we have left in the college football playoff now. Riley Leonard, who... Look, it wasn't always pretty last night, but tip your cap to him.
It's
Guy
never,
was just
in his defense, it's never pretty.
reckless abandonment. It's something Riley Leonard in his head probably thinks he's Derrick Henry. The way he runs, like he took shots, but every time he just kept lowering the shoulder. So between Riley Leonard, Will Howard, Quinn Ewers, is Quinn Ewers the best quarterback left in the college football playoff right now?
Yeah. I think that's pretty straightforward and easy to say. Riley Leonard might be the better college football quarterback, if that makes any sense.
No, it does make sense. Yeah.
I don't really know how to word this properly, I guess. Riley Leonard might, I'm not saying he is, I'd have to put a little more thought into it, look at a little more statistics, might be the better college quarterback. But then again, if you traded places, like I think Notre Dame is probably a better team with Quentin Ewers at quarterback, and I think Texas is probably a worse team with Riley Leonard at quarterback.
Don't disagree.
So that's kind of where I'm at with that. It's just... Yeah, Riley Leonard is a poor man's Tim Tebow.
I like
except
that.
the righty.
He needs the next game. He's got to show up with the John 3:16. I mean, he was given the post-game interview like Tebow.
The weird thing about it is that if you watch Riley Leonard at Duke with Mike Elko, he looked like he was a potential first-round pick. Like his arm looked really good.
Yeah, but then people remember Daniel Jones and Sam Howell existed in the ACC similarly.
I just don't know where that went, and maybe it's based off of the Notre Dame game planning, but I don't understand why the backup quarterback in just his one drive looks so much more comfortable. What was his name? Angeli?
I don't even know. It was some Italian name. Yeah.
He looked he looked more comfortable on his first play in that pocket than Riley Leonard looked all night.
It was jarring. Maybe that was the wake-up call Leonard needed. He's like, I'm about to get benched.
I took Notre Dame at even, and then as soon as Riley Leonard got hurt, I took them again at plus 400 when they were down 10. Yeah.
Oh man.
Because I watched the replay and I knew they were taking him out for concussion because his head snapped back.
Yeah.
But if you watch the replay, his head didn't actually hit the ground that hard.
Okay.
So I'm like, they're gonna pull him out, then he's gonna come back. That was right when the odds dipped. So then they went back once Riley Leonard came back in the second half. They get the field goal. But I don't know what happened to Riley Leonard in the pocket. So yes, my long answer is Quinn Ewers, just in terms of being an actual quarterback, an NFL prospect is the best one left.
Best quarterback left in the college football playoff is Arch Manning, man. I mean, come on. Get Arch Manning on the field.
You're right.
How many times do we have to call for it?
It's not going to happen.
I know it's not going to happen, and I would never wish another man's injury, all right? Especially a young man looking to make the NFL, looking to get to that final promised land in the college football landscape. But can we see Arch Manning tonight, baby?
I think you're going to get a red zone drive. Let's go, Blaine, taking down those Braves.
Come on, Blaine.
Let's keep it moving. Down to 25, baby.
Definitive in the store already. We will do a quick definitive breakdown as well in between college football and an NFL look ahead. Appreciate that, Blaine. If you guys are interested, we already have that thing loaded up. So give me Arch Manning tonight. But to me, best player tonight by far, and this is no hot take here, Jeremiah Smith. Yeah. Ben, roll the tape, my good friend. This dude is an absolute freak. I mean, the numbers in the college football playoff for Jeremiah Smith: 13 catches, 290 yards, 4 touchdowns. That is not games against Kent State. That is not games in a bye game against Temple. That is in the college football playoff, playing the best of the best competition.
It's unbelievable.
This guy's ability to get open.
He's the best prospect I've ever seen.
His contested catch ability.
I wish he was not a wide receiver.
Why's that? What do you mean by that?
Because he's the best prospect I've ever seen. I wish he was a quarterback.
Oh, okay. But see, this is what I was going to say. To me, he's like the Justin Jefferson of the college football playoff right now, where
he's more dominant.
Well, look, from the standpoint of when you are a defensive coordinator, your whole game plan goes out the window, and everything for Ohio State becomes so much easier. Tip your cap to Sark. I think he's obviously one of the best coaches in college football.
I think he's proven that.
Could be one of the best coaches, in general. We'll see if who knows how this game goes tonight. I think teams, Dallas Cowboys, are going to be looking at Sark to potentially be an NFL head coach.
That's an interesting angle there, Josh.
On Point says they will have to double cover him. I mean, it's not even just double covering him. Like, everyone's eyes are going to be towards Jeremiah Smith. And then you got Judkins. What's his name? Travion Henderson, I believe is his name.
They still got Emeka Egbuka, who's a projected first-round pick as well.
Listen, I am having a hard time not picking Ohio State tonight. To be honest with you, I don't want to pick Ohio State.
I don't either.
Now, I'll be honest, guys. I'm not a liar. I don't know a ton about all these college football prospects. From my understanding, Texas's #1 player, Jahdae Barron, one of the #1 cornerbacks.
Yeah,
he will be on Jeremiah Smith.
I would assume so. He's the Thorpe Award winner, which is awarded to the best safety in the country.
Okay.
He plays a lot of Mike linebacker for them, a lot of slot corner, kind of a do-it-all guy. I would expect to see him guarding Jeremiah Smith when they keep him in the slot. He's going to be probably over the top of Jeremiah Smith when he's on the outside. He'll be helping out with a lot of the doubles, if I had to guess. That being said, I don't think they'll have him man-on-man matched up against Jeremiah Smith, but I don't think you could put any man on Jeremiah Smith. So it gets really interesting there, and I don't know what you do because you can't leave Ibuka open. The run game is too good. The offensive line is too good. Texas is going to have to put up 40 today to win, I think.
Yeah, everyone's totally agreeing with you. Mike Trope says, big task for Texas.
No way Trope is in here. What's up, Trope? Thanks for tuning in.
So, yeah, On Point says 17-16 victory. Not so fast. Texas won't score more than 17 against that Ohio State defense. I mean, yeah, to Friedline's point here, we have said this all without bringing up how Ohio State has had the #1 defense in the country this season. Oh, man, I wrote it down at one point. Something like 16 points per game.
Yeah,
they're giving up.
It's less than 20.
It's ridiculous.
Which is going to make it really hard for Texas to get. I mean, I would say their magic number is... Well, if you were to give Texas a magic number, you say they scored this many points, I'm confident they win the game. What would it be?
I don't think there's a single number that I'm
You
confident
don't have a
they would win
safe
this
number?
game. If there's a number that I would say Texas should reach, I'd go 31. And even then, I'd say I'm not going to say it's a guarantee. I just think
I'm not saying a guarantee to feel good about yourself, to feel good about Texas.
feel good, 38. To feel good, to feel realistic, 31. So having said all this,
I'm right there with you. I was going to say 35.
Friedline says 100. I understand what he's saying. So having said all this, why are we not hammering Ohio State? Tell me. Because I'm not hammering Ohio State.
Will Howard.
Okay.
We brought up a million good things about this Ohio State team, except the most important position on the field, and it's quarterback.
He's looked fantastic.
He has looked fantastic, but it's a very small sample in what has not been a great season, and this is the best defense he's facing this year.
That's a good point.
Now, they tore up Oregon, so the question is, do you think Oregon has a better defense than Texas?
I don't know. That's my answer, to be completely honest. I don't know.
Probably not. I'm going to take the Texas defense over Oregon. Maybe not by a landslide. So I just don't love it for Will because I do think he has to be better than average for them to win this game, and I don't know if he can do that. Because if he's bad Will Howard, if he's the Will Howard we saw against Michigan, this game was over before it ever started.
I'll be honest with you, Friedline might have me here. He says, because you are haters. And I mean, look, I am not...
he's so right.
I am not
I hate Ohio State with a burning passion.
I have tried to talk. I remember I sat here with Conlon and love the guy. He's on vacation. Hope he's enjoying it. Not to call the guy out when he's not here. But he said, Ohio State's losing the first round game, blah, 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 this. And I said, Conlon, you're just saying this because you hate Ryan Day. And I understand it. But they're still a really good team. Look, I think Ohio State wins the game tonight. To be honest with you, I will probably lay the number with Ohio State tonight. I'm just not sitting here saying, hammer it like the Irish yesterday.
I mean, my money tonight, my allocated gambling money is going to the Knicks. Depending on how the first half of the Knicks game goes, I can see myself throwing a live bet on Texas at plus 250 when they're down 10 at half. That's my plan for the evening.
Do not.
I probably will.
Last question here for you before we get our trivia question up. Do you think this is the People's National Championship?
Yes.
I've heard a lot of people say
I don't agree with that statement.
Oh, okay.
But do I believe that it is the People's National Championship? Yes.
A lot of people have said the winner of this game is the national championship. Do I look at this
as the national championship? No.
Yeah.
But I believe that is the common perception amongst the public, yes.
On point, I assume this is Will Howard. If he struggles, they will lose, but I think the O-line will protect him well enough to win. I do, since no one will pick Notre Dame to win it all. I think I'll pick Notre Dame, to be honest.
I think the value they're going to have, regardless of opponent,
that's
is
kind
going
of, yeah.
The odds makers are not going to give them a fighting chance.
Marcus Freeman.
You got to play the freaking
Marcus
game.
Freeman is going to look right into that camera and mog the hell out of America.
In a very handsome way.
If you don't know what mogging means, my younger sister who's in college taught me what it meant.
Yeah, as a gym goer, I'm familiar with it.
Apparently, what does it mean? It means
it's just like to stare down the camera, like
showing up how handsome you are.
Like big Tonka the camera, you know?
So there you go. They won't try to sun him like Franklin. Either way, it's good for the program. I'm stoked. We're going to be talking about this a lot more.
It's great. It's day 2 of a lovely 5 days we have here.
But for now, let's, if you guys want to talk about college football in the chat, by all means, we'll answer questions and talk all day.
Yeah, please. If you got any questions.
But I want to do a little shift here, and let's talk about the NFL. But first, they got a primer. We're going to get our first slab or no slab giveaway, hopefully, with our trivia question up. So looking at these wild card playoffs, I think as I've gotten older, Aaron, I have really enjoyed coaching as a concept more. You know what I mean? Like, I just think coaches are such fun, people to follow.
They can,
when you look at sports as like a TV show almost. Coaches, I think, are huge for that part. Andy Reid, as we all know, the best coach currently in the NFL. Some would say best coach of all time. Bill Belichick, Shula, they have some things to say about that.
I'm not quite there yet, but
looking at the playoffs we have across the board, there's just great coaching top to bottom.
Surprise.
Andy Reid has the most playoff wins by any active head coach. He has 26 playoff wins, which is nuts. So today's trivia question. After Andy Reid, which active NFL head coach has the second most playoff wins? Your choices are Sean Payton, Kyle Shanahan, Mike Tomlin, or John Harbaugh. Which NFL head coach not named Andy Reid has the most playoff wins currently? All right, the question is up.
That's my vote, by the way, the first vote I accidentally.
Oh, boy. Are you rigging this?
I accidentally tapped one.
Oh, boy. This could be controversial now, Aaron. I tell you what.
I clicked the wrong one.
Oh, boy. It's getting scary. I'm not going to lie. I'm nervous. Who'd you vote for? Here we go. What do we got? 3, 2, 1. 9 votes are in. John Harbaugh was correct.
I almost ruined that.
What'd you click?
I accidentally clicked Sean Payton on my phone.
Dude, I would have been if we got that wrong, I would have ran that one anyway because of this guy over here.
I felt terrible.
Well, John Harbaugh is correct. He had the second most in the NFL currently. You know, actually, is the third most. I didn't even put him on here. Mike McCarthy has the third most wins out of active NFL head coaches.
Interesting.
I said, screw Mike McCarthy. I'm not even going to put him on this list because everyone will look at that and say, there's no way it's Mike McCarthy.
You could also argue he's not really an active NFL head coach right now.
Hey, you know what? You're right. So it's weird because the terms of the contract are like he is under contract until last Tuesday, but he's not allowed to negotiate until after the 14th.
Well, yeah, they denied
the Bears.
Yeah, they denied the Bears.
All right, so before we get into the NFL real quick, let's talk about our release day product, Aaron. This thing is sweet.
Juice.
And listen, Triple Threads, one of my favorite products, to be honest with you. It was the first higher-end product in baseball that I personally ripped, and I think it's got a special place in my heart for that reason. I've actually never ripped Definitive before. I saw it last year, but I didn't have my hands on it personally. Friedline, I know, right? Tomlin, I thought so too. But not so great in the playoffs, to be honest with you. Looking at Definitive here, first things first, when I looked at it, the first thing that stood out to me was, Ben, would you mind flashing up the picture? How about, look at that thing. Shohei Ohtani.
We're pulling that today. Someone take down the Dodgers.
Yeah, right? There you go. You heard it here first from Aaron, not me. He says we're pulling that. Shohei Ohtani, the first, from what I've seen, someone can correct me if I'm incorrect, the first official, Topps licensed Shohei Ohtani Kanji autograph.
Yeah, I read the same thing.
So he is signed before in Kanji. I'm not sure if that's someone signing a baseball in Japan or a card. As far as in products go, this is the first and only Shohei Ohtani Kanji auto. That is the one of one. The second thing,
That's so sweet.
That's freaking awesome. The second thing I've noticed, the card design Definitive, I think, took a step up from last year. I just think they looked, very pompous, I guess would be the word I would use.
It's a subtle elegance.
Yes. And I think it's living up to the Definitive name.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubts about that. The reason why I brought up Triple Threads, though, and I think it's the one knock that everyone has on Triple Threads, there are a lot of sticker autos in Triple Threads. This year in Definitive, every single autograph is on card.
Love that.
Bravo.
Well done.
I mean, bravo to our folks over there at Topps. I gotta, they get a bad rap. I get it.
Yeah. Hey, when you do something right, you deserve to be complimented for it. I think that's absolutely massive. I think that's how it should be. 6
autos per box as well. Love that number. All on card, as I said. All are numbered to 50 or less. Another
Parallels
thing,
all 25 or less.
there you go. There you go. Quad autos, because it's like you see triple autos, you see dual autos. This to me is like in This Is Spinal Tap, where they say, we brought it to 11. This is like, oh, triple autos. Nah, we went with quad autos this year.
It's like the quad box on Red Zone.
There you go. Well, one quad auto I saw that jumped out to me. Ichiro, Shohei Ohtani, Masataka Yoshida, Hideki Matsui, 4 Japanese legends.
Yeah,
that would be a
that's gonna
crazy
be a sweaty
random. There you go. Loving what I've seen from Definitive so far. That Ohtani Kanji auto, but
Pat and I looking forward to getting our hands on that for sure.
this was something I didn't notice when I was first doing my. I noticed this morning when I was looking at the checklist again. Quote right from Beckett's website. One of the areas that Definitive is adding something extra this time is with its autographed first batting gloves, numbered to 5. So we all know how sick those debut cards are because it was their first game they ever played. I don't want to say these are better because I do think there's something very novel and special about the Topps Chrome debut cards. These cards have pieces of the batting gloves worn by players when they accomplished a significant first, like a hit or home run. Red parallels are 1 of 1. So the one I saw of this was Jackson Holiday, batting glove right in the patch, red 1 of 1. His batting glove from his first home run. That is unbelievable. So stuff that I think typically...
Now, how many does he only have 1 career home run right now?
I think he's got 3 or 4 off the top of my head.
Maybe he
had
hit
a grand
couple?
slam. I know he had a grand slam.
Yeah,
I'm
I
pretty
feel
sure.
like that was his first, though.
I couldn't tell you. Hey, look, let's be honest. He
If
didn't
he
hit a
only
ton.
has 1 home run, that's crazy that
But
card
I mean,
is out.
these are things, and this is my thing as someone who, look, I'll be honest, at this stage of my life, I'm paying student loans off. I'm not usually shelling out the dough to get into some Definitive breaks sometimes. But from the other side, as someone who's been a breaker, as someone who's been close to the hobby and follows it, there are items I see sometimes where they transcend collector's item, they transcend a quick flip, and to me, I say, this could be history right here.
Yeah.
And maybe Jackson Holiday's not the best example for that. I know we have our questions about him, but guys like Jackson Chorio, guys like Paul Skeens, and I haven't seen, exactly if Paul Skeens has pieces of a glove or anything in there. But for the batting gloves, you get a Jackson Chorio batting glove potentially. These are items that should be in Cooperstown.
Yeah,
and you're getting to get them in an autographed card. That to me is one of the coolest things I've seen this year.
I think this product is absolutely fantastic for people who buy for their PC. I think if you are a PC collector, someone who maybe isn't necessarily totally in on quick flips, both of which.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Ben. Is that Kowser? Yeah, that's a Kowser logo, man.
Both of which, totally cool, obviously, to each their own. But I feel like this in particular is a massive PC and hold product, which I always think is just, super duper cool.
We're big fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we're from the fan side of things. That's how we look at things
exactly.
first.
This is a fan's product right here.
I'm
Very
looking at-
high-end fan product.
I'm looking to pull up here if it has the exact batting gloves on Beckett yet. So I'm not sure. They also have the protectors at the plate that I thought was really cool because, we see those oven mitts these guys wear, their elbow pads. They were like, all right, you know what? We see what they're doing over there with football, with the flawless and stuff like that. You're putting cleats in. You're putting the towels. I know, the hand warmers and towels. Now you're seeing this in Definitive here. I think protectors at the plate is one of the cooler memorabilia kind of, I don't want to say inserts, but offshoots here. You got Salvador Perez. Dude, Salvador Perez shooting for Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Get a piece of his catcher's mask or something like that.
Royal's still on the Royal's still
There
available.
you go. Let me pull it up real quick. One last thing here. And guys, let us know if there's something specific you've seen in here. There we go. I was looking at memorabilia instead of the autographs for the actual batting gloves. Here we go. This is the autographed first batting gloves. And this is what I'm talking about. Jackson Merrill, right? And I wasn't able to see specifics yet exactly for all these different guys. But, dude, I think Jackson Merrill, sky's the limit for this guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jackson Merrill, first home run batting gloves. Evan Carter.
Sign me up.
I don't know if this is the case, and someone can correct me if you've seen something for sure. It might be one of those things that we don't know until we pull those cards. But I would just imagine something Evan Carter batting glove from a World Series performance. Like I said, Aaron, stuff that I think could be in Cooperstown.
You were owners of pieces of history.
I'm excited for this, man. I am so excited for this. We're going to be ripping it. We got it in store already. Thank you guys for joining us, and let us know if there's something you've seen from this that you were specifically...
Any questions about the checklist, anything like that we can help you out with as well, please do not hesitate to ask here.
But, yeah, man, I am so excited to watch Definitive get ripped. hop on in. It is in our store already. And Friedline asked a great question. How does the player not keep those? I got to imagine this is in their contract. Like when you sign this multi-million-dollar deal,
They didn't just
you
say,
sign your life away.
They didn't just say, ooh, let me give this away.
I hear you though, Friedline, and I do think it's a little bit sad for some of these smaller guys. Like in this product, obviously these are some of the bigger names. They should have long careers and be able to buy it back. But I don't know if you saw, like, I don't want to say trend, but a couple of these smaller, like, relievers who have 1 or 2 appearances, their family members bought them their own debut cards and gifted it to them for Christmas, and some of those reactions were awesome. So, to your point, Friedline, I do feel for some of those guys where it's like, man, this was my first home run. I thought maybe I would get to hold on to those.
I don't get this
given in
batting
Cooperstown, right? But still, listen, it makes it even more sought after, I think. All right, we got 6 minutes left on our giveaway. That's kind of your definitive rundown for the day. That's going to be sweet. Appreciate you. Mike, Monday, it was really nice to see the smaller guys get them back. I'm with you too, Mike, Monday. Absolutely. And that's, I think, the caveat with this is there's not any of those smaller guys. So it's one, big for the buyer where you're only getting these big names, but also two, some of the smaller guys do get to hold on to their actual.
Yeah, and also, guys, just for that break, there was some Bowman draft and some triple threads in there. Kind of a more mass product. So
yeah. A little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. A nice medley.
Ooh, you're making me hungry. That makes me think of Chinese food. Medley? All right. Well, put a pin in that. It's only, 10 a.m.? I got a long way to go before Chinese food time. I tell you what. Aaron, let's do it, man. The NFL playoffs. Finally
holidays.
Here. First things first, crazy news. Just got to touch on that. Playoff game getting moved to Arizona once again. Thoughts with everyone in California. It seems like things are dying down a little bit in terms of the fire, but Jesus, man.
Yeah.
The damage is already done.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers to everyone.
Seriously. I know we got a lot of people who hop in with us in California. I know we talked to Mal yesterday. Hope everyone over there is doing as well as you can.
Yep, seriously.
But, dude, a playoff game getting moved to Arizona, that's crazy. Rams and Vikings, in case you missed it, that game is going to be played in the Arizona Cardinals home stadium on Monday night. I'm going to not give any picks on that. I'm going to save that game for Monday night. Also, it's the hardest game for me to pick, so I'm buying myself a little more time. Aaron and the chat guys, feel free to weigh in on this as well. I'm going to write it down on my notepad here. I want to rank these games from least excited.
Least exciting to
most excited. Just from you personally as a viewer. And then from that order, that is how we will go and break down these games, if you don't mind, Rothschild.
Dude, anything for you.
All right. 4.5 minutes to go on our first slab or no slab giveaway. Mike, wish all these card companies gave a set of 10 to the players for their own set to give to friends and family. Oh, there you go. Mug was about to fall.
Imagine just shattered glass everywhere.
Mike, that's a good point. I wonder if you can work out some sort of deal. I mean, like, not that they don't get paid enough, right? But some of these guys,
I'm not
some
gonna,
of these guys, they're $700,000-$800,000, and then your career could be over in an instant.
Yeah, I'm not gonna cry on the river here.
They don't ask. I ask a player that broke in another room. They get nothing. Wow, they get literally nothing. I know some of the designers and the guys that work at Topps get a ton. I feel like these guys should get at least one.
And they play baseball for a living.
Real quick, Mike, like, I don't want to go too crazy off this. I do want to get into football. I always thought it would be a great idea for college sports with NIL now. Each college player should have a deal with, like, Topps or something like that. And I know it becomes a whole thing. Each player gets a one-of-one that they can choose to do with. They can either sell it and make their money themselves at their height of their career, or they can bet on themselves and hold it throughout their college career. I've had that idea in the back of my head since I've heard about NIL, is every single D1 player should have their own one-of-one that they get to keep and then choose to do with it. Anyways, that's a whole different topic. Nonetheless,
I like the creative juices are flowing.
Thank you, man. Thank you. 3 minutes to go on our first slab or no slab giveaway. All right, let me throw out there, and you can tell me if you agree or disagree. The matchup that I am looking forward the least, just from a thank you, Alan. I'll have to talk. The Bills and the Broncos is the matchup that I think I am least interested to watch. Having said that, still pretty interested to watch, but I think that ranks last for me.
I would agree, and I think that is why you see it in the Sunday 1 p.m. slot.
Okay, all right. So we're going Bills, Broncos first. We'll keep this rolling. Second game that I am least excited to watch, and don't get me wrong, I'm excited to watch all these games. The point spread, I think, is telling. Ravens Steelers, which I know is crazy to say.
Yeah,
AFC North battle.
I disagree with you.
You disagree? Talk to me.
I personally disagree.
What's
I
your
would
second
say
least
Chargers,
favorite?
Texans.
Yeah. All right. You're right. I overlooked that one. I'm gonna go Chargers, Texans second. Will we go Ravens? Steelers third? What are you thinking here?
I'm honestly thinking after that, probably Packers, Eagles.
Why? Show your work.
I don't think, the more I think about it, the more I think, I don't even like saying it. I think the Eagles might blow the Packers out of the water.
Really?
Yeah, I have a feeling that might turn into a blowout.
All right, someone in the chat be the tiebreaker here. Which one are you less interested to watch? Eagles, Packers, or Ravens, Steelers? First answer I see is what we will do third.
Let's see it here.
Before that, Eagles, Packers. Wow, Mike Monday says that is least interesting. Wow,
Yeah,
two for two.
I agree. The more I think about it, the more I see, I just don't see an entertaining game there for some reason.
Everyone, Hoff, good to see you, Hoff. Good morning to you. 1 minute ago. AFC North is always fun. Fair enough.
Yeah, a divisional matchup in the postseason has an extra layer to it. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so then we all agree.
It's also a third matchup between the teams.
That's true.
Which I always enjoy. It's hard to get a team to play each other. Teams to play each other.
Thanos. Go Birds, baby. I'm wearing the shirt today. Go Birds. And his wife, he says Eagles, Packers as well. Everyone agreeing Eagles, Packers? All right, maybe that's because my brain is spinning.
I think you have that bias one higher than it is.
Yep, fair enough. Less than 1 minute to go for our first giveaway to see if someone's
122
taking
entries.
down a slab.
Appreciate you guys showing love.
Happy Friday, everyone. All right, so that means the final two matchups, Vikings, Rams, and Commanders, Bucks. I actually think the matchup I am most excited for, from like the matchup I have the hardest time picking, Vikings, Rams.
Yeah.
Hardest time picking, but most excited to watch, Commanders, Bucks. What do you think?
Most entertaining to watch. Now I'm going to stick to Vikings, Rams.
Okay, you're saying that's most exciting to watch?
I think that is the best game.
Mike says he's most excited to watch Commanders. I think the Rams-Vikings game is the best, like, contrast of styles.
I think it's the best football game. I think it is the best football game. I think it's the most competitive football game out of
And we're going to hold a thought. So now we have our order for games we are going to break down. But before we do so, let's make some magic happen, baby.
Good luck, everybody.
Let's go into the weekend with a boom. Come on now. Who do we got? Yo, Mike Monday! Let's go, baby! Mike Monday. I know it's one of your least favorite days of the week, but it just got a little bit better. Congratulations, Mike Monday.
It's almost like a Monday now.
What do we got? 125 or 50? 125 or 50 is what we're looking for? 11. Dude, it's a Michael Jordan card from 1996. That's a pretty sweet card there, Mike Monday.
Free.
For the absolute free.
All you have to do is listen to me and Josh ramble for a little bit. Not too bad.
That's pretty cool.
Thanks
Mike Monday.
for hopping in, Mike.
You got it, Mike. We're going to show you that card in just a minute. Now, it's not rookie card, but it's the 96 Bulls year Michael Jordan card right there. Who knows, man? You get this thing slabbed up. Could be worth a pretty penny. Thank you, Ben. There you go, guys. There's our list.
Dude, that's how it should look the whole time. Just keep me off camera. Just put a card there. I'll just be a voice.
1996 retro Michael Jordan. Oh boy, Mike, I didn't mean to hit you in the feels. That was my one crazy card I had there on the list where they're all for the most part, football, baseball, or they're basketball, they're new guys.
You stumble across MJ.
I was looking through a bunch of cards that we had, and I was like, dude, Michael Jordan, 1996, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
let's put that on the list.
Throw him in there, 100%.
All right. So let's see. So we're going to Steelers, Ravens, and then from there. What's that? Oh, yeah. Thank you, Ben. So that was the first giveaway we were doing there. We will be running a second giveaway in a few minutes here. 10:45. In 25 minutes, we will run our second giveaway at 10:45. No trivia there. Take a look at our list real quick. This is everything you could win. If you want to hop into our giveaway again, stick around. 10:45, we'll be running that thing back. 125 and 50 are our slabs. We got a Shohei Ohtani Gem Mint 10 rookie card number 1. Number 25, Corbin Carroll Cosmic rookie card Gem Mint 10. And then Ethan Salas Bowman first PSA 9.
That's gross.
As our third slab.
Hold on to that, baby.
Yeah, for real, man. So there you go. That is our list, guys. If you want to hop on in, 25 minutes, we'll be running that thing back, all right?
You only got to listen to us for a little longer.
All right, so we're going Commies and Bucks to close things out. Alrighty, Aaron. Bills versus Broncos. We are going to be doing a little exercise in all of these games. How can each team win this game? because this is the second biggest point spread between these two games. And when this week started, it came out and I said, man, the Bills are going to absolutely smoke the Broncos. Personally, I don't know about you. I don't know about you guys watching out there. As we've gotten closer to this game, talked myself into the Broncos just a tad more, but not all the way in. So let's just first with this thought exercise here. How do the Broncos pull off the upset this weekend?
Broncos pull off the upset by figuring out a way to run the football. They are going to need to surprise the Bills. They're going to need to keep Josh Allen off the field as much as possible. The way to keep the offense off the field is to keep your offense on the field. The way to keep your offense on the field for the longest possible time while ticking clock, the running game. It's not a great running back room. Javonte Williams, Audric Estime.
Is Jaleel McLaughlin still kicking it?
I don't even know. He might still be there. They're going to need to find a way to run the football. You cannot, as great as Bo Nix has been, you cannot rely on a rookie quarterback to take down the number 2 seed on the road. Yeah. You absolutely need a running game.
Listen, I will not be betting this game, I'll tell you that much. But 8 points. It has moved towards the Broncos. The Broncos can win this game if their defense plays absolutely lights out and are able to quarterback spy Josh Allen. Do I think all that will happen? No, nope. I really do not. Do I really trust Bo Nix to win this game?
Nope.
Listen, it's not a knock on Bo Nix. I'm impressed.
Great rookie season.
Way surpassed my expectations. However, I do have a pretty fun stat for this game. So, Sean Payton, the head coach of the Broncos. Since 2017, Sean Payton, what's the number here exactly? 30-12 against bald head coaches. There you go. There's a wild stat I bet you weren't ready for. We're talking hair follicles for our handicapping this weekend.
Broncos money line.
No,
Throw the
not
mortgage
quite.
On it.
Not getting there. 30-12 against bald head coaches.
Throw
Shout
the
out
mortgage
Sean
on it,
McDermott.
guys. You heard it. Josh is telling you. Josh is asking you guys all to spend as much money as possible on the Broncos because of Sean Payton's record against bald head coaches. You heard it here at Suncoast Store.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think the Bills win this game. How do the Bills win this game? They just take care of business. They just show up and do their job.
Play
they don't,
football.
How they win this game is by not turning the ball over.
Exactly.
Not doing losing plays.
If they turn the ball over less than 2 times, they will win that football game.
From a card standpoint, for Bo Nix.
Oh, huge.
Is there anything he can do that will lose value?
No.
I don't think so either.
No. A rookie making the playoffs with not even a great roster around him, I think his card value can only be aided by a playoff win or two. No, but it's in short, no, I do not believe there will be any negative impact on his card market.
So for anyone out there, Bo Nix, look, I won't endorse Broncos money line. And I don't even love Bo Nix too much long term, but if you've been thinking about getting Bo Nix, I would recommend doing it before the game because I think it can only go up. If he somehow wins this game, that's going to shoot up.
Sell it Monday.
If they lose, if he throws 4 interceptions, and they lose.
All right, we saw it coming.
I think, a little bit. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it'll tank. It'll be like, all right, you play the Bills.
Do not sell Bo Nix cards today.
All right, so we're both going Bills there. Let's not.
No need to try to split the atom on this one.
So you said Chargers Texans second least exciting game. I'm kind of excited for this game. I'm not gonna lie. Because this is one of those games where when the playoff schedule came out, immediately I said, dude, the Texans are done. Chargers for sure. The line is 2.5. Chargers are favorites, and you know what? I think I will be betting the Chargers at 2.5.
I think that's probably my favorite pick right now in terms of the spread.
The Chargers win this game if what, Aaron?
Chargers win this game if they can force the ball out of Nico Collins' hands.
Yeah.
If they can force someone else to beat them other than Nico Collins,
that's a great point.
Then I think they win that football game. I think that is my short answer.
I think the Chargers win this game if they just don't blow it in the second half like they did against the Jacksonville Jaguars a few years ago.
Just no collapse. No collapse.
I mean,
I don't think it'll happen with Harbaugh.
I cannot get that taste out of my mouth.
They're a little too well coached now for a total just waste of a showing.
What's going on, Richie Scott? Good morning to you, Richie. 20 minutes, we're going to be running our next giveaway.
Richie, we're picking them. We're pitching them. We're picking the Chargers. Don't
get me wrong. For the Texans, right? I have said it for 2-3 weeks now, and I still kind of believe it. The Texans are a broken football team. I think that Tank Dell injury was the straw that broke C.J. Stroud's back.
Just emotionally,
Emotionally, as a person, as a young man working in the workforce.
Yeah, he's my age.
Right, he's like our age out here. He's so much pressure going on him. Here are a couple C.J. Stroud quotes that I read that to me were like, whoa.
What is this guy saying?
This is scary.
Yeah.
Stroud says, it's an ESPN article, the difference that I've had this year is I haven't had as much fun.
Can't be saying that your second season, buddy.
Stroud said this was heading into week 18. That's something I want for the team again, but it's a fight. You gotta go get it. It's been a year of sowing seeds for me, so just learning more about me as a man and as a football player as well. Aaron, when I read that sounds like a guy to me who's already growing for year 3 instead of looking ahead at a Super Bowl run right now in year 2.
It's a guy whose confidence is shaken. That's what it is. It's a guy whose confidence is shaken at the worst possible time to have shaken confidence. That being said, how did the Texans win this game?
Ben, you able to pull that clip up real quick? Go ahead.
A time machine. You got to go back 1 year. I need CJ Stroud to find a time machine. I need him to go back 1 year. If he can go back 1 year, clear his mind, figure it out, just have fun playing some football as opposed to stressing out and all that. Just have some fun. They can win that game.
I went back and I watched his performance last year against a fantastic Browns defense, by the way.
Let's remember in the league last year.
How good the Browns defense was last season.
Absolutely.
When this game came around last year, I picked the Browns because I said, oh, Stroud, what a great story. But this guy is a rookie quarterback running into one of the best defenses in the NFL. The buck stops here. You look at this game, and it makes me sit back and say, was I too quick to bury the Texans? Because this was another quote from C.J. Stroud. With this in mind, they said the same thing last year for the playoff opener against the Browns. And I'm not saying this year's last year, but we went out there and did what we had to do to win. I kind of like being the underdog. I've been the underdog a lot of my life and my career, so it's actually quite comfortable to me.
I think being an underdog is advantageous to the Texans here. The expectations being lower with a younger quarterback, I think helps. I think it gets Stroud out of his head a little bit. By no means is this game a shoo-in for the Chargers. That's why the spread is 3 points. Do I think the Chargers are going to win and cover that spread? As a logical human being, probably. My logical side says so. But that being said, you got to play the game. CJ Stroud has shown unbelievable ability in just a million different instances. He needs to find it one more time. Yeah, he needs to go out and have a little fun. He needs to understand that the expectations for this game are low. He should just go sling it. That's how they win this game. I don't want to say vintage because the guy's in the second year.
What, Stroud?
Yeah, a rookie year Stroud performance is what they need.
Man, I just can't believe that Stroud has taken such a big dive this season. Those of you, we did a CJ Stroud card deep dive on Monday. Listen, hold it. I don't think it's impossible that Stroud...
I was here for that.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I don't think it's impossible that Stroud all of a sudden turns it on.
It's certainly not impossible.
But...
You shouldn't be surprised if it happens.
The one thing that I do think, to bring this back down to earth, because we kind of looked at the Chargers side, we looked at the Texans side, to look at this objectively, there is one number that really stands out to me. If you take away the Chargers' one stinker against the Buccaneers, they gave up 40 points to the Buccaneers, you take that game out of the equation, average it out from their other 16 games this season, the Chargers are allowing an average of 16.3 points per game. Now, look, I get it. It might be like, oh, you can't take away their one game. Sure, I understand. Every team has a bad day. I think it's fair to take that out of the sample size and go off 16 games is a lot of games to view off of.
I think that's fair assessment.
Dude, that is a great defense right there. Thank you, Ben. Look, CJ Stroud, I think it possibly pops off. I got to go Chargers.
I'm going to pick the Chargers. I have to go Chargers. And the thing I would say, too, every team should be following what the Chargers did in terms of securing their tackles.
What, Rashawn Slater?
Yeah, Slater and Joe Alt.
Yeah.
Joe Alt is already an all-pro caliber player. Slater's a great player. The defense is good. The biggest asset that the Texans have on defense is their ability to rush the passer and drop their corners into man coverage. That is going to be extremely difficult to do because it's going to be extremely difficult to get to Justin Herbert.
Now, looking at this from the card standpoint like we did with Bo Nix, we already talked a lot about CJ Stroud. Herbert, let's focus on him. My take here, winning this game won't do a ton, to be honest, for his card market. I don't think it will go down that much with a loss. I don't think it will. I think it'll go up if he wins, but I don't think it'll go up that much because I think for people, their sentiment will be about damn time.
I think so. I take a little bit of a different angle here. I think he has a lot. To be completely honest, I don't like coming on here and lying. I think he has a lot to lose in terms of value if they lose this game because I think it's like, it happened again.
Okay. Yep.
I don't think he has a lot to gain from one win. That being
Two
said,
wins.
if he gets to the AFC Championship,
I agree.
I think his stock takes a massive rise. So I think in this first game, he has more to lose than he does to gain.
1,000%.
But I think if they win the first game, he has more to gain than he has to lose in that second one.
That's. I think he nailed it. We looked at Anthony Edwards earlier this week. Anthony Edwards, sure, he won that first playoff round. A little bit of a jump. When Anthony Edwards beat the Nuggets.
When you can do it multiple times is when you're legit.
You saw a spike in that player's card. If Herbert can do it twice, which someone picked on the show, not me, that's when I think we'll see a spike. His wifey comes on and says, I was surprised by the Texans this year. I think we all were his wifey. But I do think when you look back at history, it shouldn't be that surprising. Like I said, Eagles' second year with Jalen Hurts starting, same thing happened. Absolutely blew it up. Lost to the Buccaneers first round of the playoffs. Could be a similar thing with the Texans. Just something to remember for the Commanders next season. Now we've seen it 2 years in a row where the star quarterback, when they're starting their second year, major drop-off. Just something to keep in mind, I think, for the future with the Commanders here after we've seen that. But, yep, we both on the Bills. We're both on the Chargers. How lame of us. I kind of wanted to pick the Texans today.
I think it'll get a little more interesting as we go.
I just couldn't get there. Steelers-Ravens is what we got next year. 9.5 point spread. Before we even look at this game, is 9.5 too high? This is an AFC North football game.
If this was a regular season divisional game, they're not making that 9.5.
What was it? What was the score of that second game? I'll pull it up real quick.
In short, yeah, that's ridiculous. Having it as a 2-possession game, it should obviously be a 1-possession game. I would say 6.5 would still be a bit of a high number. I would be more around 4.5.
Dude, Ravens blew them out low key. Ravens won 34-17 last time.
Honest, it's a totally different animal. Now it's the postseason.
Yeah.
It's a third matchup. Game plans are changing. I mean, it's the adjustment to the adjustment now. So I don't know how you can do 9.5. Obviously, Vegas always wins, so I'm probably wrong. I'm not gonna pick the Steelers to win, but I do not think that the Ravens cover that in any way. For the Steelers to win,
yes, yeah,
Najee Harris needs to run for 150 yards. In other words, they're not going to win.
That's a death sentence, dude. That is awful.
He's going to need to have the best game of his career.
I tell you what, I'll say this. I would be less surprised if the Steelers won than the Broncos. Yet the Broncos' point spread is lower than the Steelers. You get what I'm saying?
I do, and I agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would not be shocked. But also the Ravens, I'm saying this right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm seeing the comments right now. Not going to happen. So basically what he does in 4 games. Yeah, we need about a 4-1 from Najee. Maybe a 3-1. In his defense, this has been the best season of his career. And at the end of the season, he's gotten it going a bit. Yeah.
All right, I'll believe you. I haven't been too tapped in. It hasn't felt like it.
Nah, this has been his best year. So I'm... I see a 5-point game. I somehow see a 5-point game.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe it's like
they're gonna need
garbage time kind of Russell Wilson
like it's
touchdown.
gonna have to be, there's gonna have to maybe be like a botched snap by the Ravens that gets the Steelers good field position, like one of those plays, a big punt return, a strip sack fumble,
which is not impossible.
Definitely not impossible. I mean, actually, can I change the way they're gonna win the game?
Yes.
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt for the Steelers.
TJ Watt.
Yeah. Okay. That just tells you how bad the rest of his career has been.
It hasn't been good.
Yeesh.
It hasn't been good. But yes, let me change that. TJ Watt is going to absolutely need to single-handedly dominate the game and just beat the brakes.
Thank you, man. You just saw what I was about to do. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin this, Mike Tomlin that. Love the guy. The last time the Pittsburgh Steelers won a playoff game was the most infamous game that I can remember. The Antonio Brown CTE game, as some people remember it. The last time
the beginning of the end.
Literally. The last time the Steelers won a playoff game.
Is that Jeremy Hill running the football right there?
Was an absolute, dare I say, fluke? Dare I say, did not deserve to win at all? How the Steelers win this football game is the exact way they beat the Ravens earlier this season. is the exact way they won their last playoff game. 6 Chris Boswell field goals, Aaron. That's how they did it against the Ravens this year. That's how they did in the playoffs. They even had to have a Vontaze perfect friggin' CTE-inducing horrible tackle. Oh, God, shield your eyes. Oh, that wasn't the one. I got a little nervous here.
It's the next one.
That was the calm before the storm.
It's the next one. It's this one.
But this is what it... Oh, God, I can't even look. I apologize for showing that. I just had to go show you.
Insert CT ESPN.
1, this is how long it's been since Mike Tomlin and the Steelers have won a playoff game. And 2, this is what it took for the Steelers to win a playoff game. I love Mike Tomlin, okay? I really do. But we talked about it earlier this week. Is Mike Tomlin on the hot seat? Everyone says no.
No.
A lot of Steelers fans would beg to differ because they're sick. They are tired of just making it to the playoffs and getting bounced in the first round. To me, I could not believe it. I know the thing of the Steelers. This game is just so funny to rewatch. I cannot
Jeremy
believe it.
Hill is very upset about it over there.
Like
And here comes young Chris Boswell.
This is it, man. This is how the Steelers win their playoff game. And look. Is it impossible? No, obviously it's not impossible. We saw this happen this year. I just think it's very unlikely. Look, Mike Tomlin, there was a great story in The Athletic this week about Russell Wilson calling up Jerome Bettis. Russell Wilson had a long phone call with Jerome Bettis and said, Jerome, I can't do a Russell Wilson impression. Mr. Unlimited wants to know how you lose 4 straight games and still win a Super Bowl. And, Jerome Bettis gave him an answer. Russell Wilson to me... Russell Wilson to me, LaFleur! Dog wants him out. That's what I'm saying, though,
Well,
Blaine.
if Dog wants him out, then.
I talk to Big Dog, who's a real Steelers fan, and I say, Dog, it must be awesome to have Mike Tomlin as your head coach. And he gives me this look and goes, no, it's not, Josh.
He starts barking at
He
you.
starts barking at me. Because of this reason, I think Steelers fans are fed up. All that to say, Aaron and I think we're on the same page. Game might be ugly. I think it's important to know that they did not have George Pickens when they played the Ravens last time.
I see it as a Penn State Notre Dame-like game, but in the NFL.
I think you're giving the Steelers a little too much credit there, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't think Pittsburgh's going to win. I'm not saying they're Notre Dame.
I think the Ravens actually make this look pretty easy. I'll be honest. I know it's an AFC North game. Those are famous last words. The talent gap is too big. I feel like, to your point, right, is the adjustment to the adjustment.
Yeah.
The Lamar versus Tomlin stuff is real.
It's a massive. This game is going to fall massively on game planning and coaching. A third matchup between the teams. I mean, that's almost you're set up to fail or you're set up to succeed by your coaches in a matchup like this.
And listen, coaching-wise, I think it's pretty dang even. I'm not going to say Tomlin or Harbaugh is this better, genius. They both have a Super Bowl on their resume. After that, if you say coaching is a wash, then it goes down to talent. Talent's not even close. Give me the Baltimore Ravens. I'm with you. I think the Steelers might cover. I'm not going to make that a play or anything. I just
21-16.
21
Ravens.
Yes, I like that. Just some whack-ass Steelers score right there. 21-16. Dude, that's a good score. I
3
like
field
that.
goals and a touchdown.
Bingo. I like that a lot. Last question on this game, though. We kind of not ripped Tomlin. I do love Tomlin. I just understand. Blaine, it's funny you mentioned that because Big Dog is the one who kind of put this on my radar.
Yeah.
And then I talked to more Steelers fans afterwards and was like, wow, you're all kind of mad at Tomlin. Whose legacy is more on the line in this game? Mike Tomlin's or Russell Wilson? A win here, to me, could be a legacy-saving game for one of these guys. But who has more at stake in this one?
Russell Wilson.
Why is that?
Tomlin is the consistency with the Steelers. He is the common denominator across quarterbacks, offensive lines, defensive coordinators, Super Bowls, early eliminations, everything. The common denominator is Mike Tomlin. Russell Wilson is the one who needs to prove that he belongs in Pittsburgh, that he is the quarterback for the Steelers, not the other way around. Mike Tomlin does not, as much as maybe people don't think he should be there because they can't win the big game. The fact of the matter is the guy's never been below 500.
Yep.
He belongs in Pittsburgh. He is the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. That guy, I don't know what color the Steelers really bleed.
Black and yellow,
Yeah,
man.
black and yellow, I guess.
Black and yellow.
I don't know if it was gold or something. But Tomlin doesn't really have much. This is his team. He deserves it. He's done his job. Russell Wilson, on the other hand, is coming off multiple poor seasons after being a Super Bowl winner, MVP, consistent candidate, perennial MVP candidate. That's the word I was looking for there.
Yeah. And it just fell off a cliff.
This is where it's either, all right, Russell Wilson. This is the game to me where it's Russell Wilson's career is over, or Russell Wilson is still a starting NFL quarterback. And
Damn.
I think this game is the deciding factor in that.
Yeah, when you put it like that, it's hard to disagree with you, man. And I don't think it sounds like you're trying to be Nick Wright almost, and like when you say something like that, but I think it's true. Russell Wilson's career, for all intents and purposes, might be over if he loses this game.
I don't know who's going to give him a starting game.
The Raiders, someone like that,
who's
right?
Gonna but even like, why would he doesn't want to play for the Raiders at 35 years old, banged up?
But if it's Russ, we're going to give you more money and let you start, or you can go sit behind and do Subway commercials. And you know what? If you're playing backup, last I checked, they don't give Subway commercials to backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, they have those. What's the new backup commercial with Case Keenum?
It's a good.
I love those. Jacoby Brissett doing the finances.
Saw
Have
Josh
you done any
Dobbs in there.
charitable donations?
It's a
great marketing scheme. But
Big Dog, go to sleep.
Go to bed, Big Dog.
Big Dog says just ended. Shout out Big Dog, of course,
yes,
as always.
I do believe this a bad loss here, especially a loss where Russell Wilson does not look competitive, which we have seen as of late. I do believe is the end of a great Hall of Fame career.
I jumped the gun, by the way. I messed up. I switched the order. I just realized I went Steelers Ravens before Eagles Packers.
You're just trying to avoid.
I'm just trying to avoid the Eagles Packers game because I am a little bit nervous. But guys, if you're with us right now, 3 minutes to go. We will get our final slab or no slab giveaway up, and then we will get into ripping definitive already in the store, ladies and gentlemen. Hop on in. Should be an awesome release day with us here at Suncoast. But Packers versus Eagles. The line has moved towards the Eagles. I wonder if part of that money came in after Jalen Hurts was officially good to go. But some other news from practice from the Eagles. A.J. Brown leaves practice with a knee injury yesterday.
Oh, boy.
The reports are he is 100% going to play. However, something's wrong with him. I mean, he's got an injury. A.J. Brown has an injury. I don't know where this came from. I don't know how it happened. Two teams banged up.
Probably playing football.
Thanks, man. Probably playing football. I'm not... Forget it.
It wasn't cooking.
It wasn't cooking like Scotty Scheffler, allegedly. Eagles, Packers. Let's just start with what you said. You said you think the Eagles are going to blow out the Packers. You're starting to think that. So let's start with that side.
I'm not saying that is my... I'm not locking that in as a firm prediction yet. I just think that's where my brain is starting to wander. The more I think about Saquon playing off of 2 weeks of rest, the offensive line with 2 weeks of rest, the way they look with Pickett, the way they look with Tanner McKee.
The Mormon Missile, baby.
I mean... Does it even really... Jalen Hurts playing is obviously great news for the Eagles in terms of their Super Bowl outlook. Because I do think that there's a chance if they play perfect football, they can be there.
100%.
But the way they win this game, it is so perfect. The matchup works out so nicely for them against the Packers in terms of being able to run the football, control time of possession, that takes away the Packers' opportunity for big plays. Keeps the defense off the field against a very electric young offense. I just think that's how it needs to be done. I just think the matchup works for Philadelphia here. I think the Love injury, even though he's going to play, I think that's probably being a little undersold.
The injury?
Yeah, Jordan Love's injury.
Yeah. You think he's being undersold?
Yeah, I think it's probably a little more impactful than maybe we're giving it credit for. Hands are tricky.
Tigers fan says no Brandon Graham. Packers win.
I don't know if that's the
Brandon Graham's been out for like 8 weeks now. I don't know if you were just noticing this. Brandon Graham actually was having a very good like swan song kind of season for the Birds.
I just don't know if he's the guy who tips the scale either way.
I don't know either. Now,
Fletcher Cox.
These two teams met first week of the season, as we know. I've been seeing on Packers Twitter all week. Someone said, "Oh, Jalen threw 5 picks this season. 2 of them were against us. We got this guy's number." What the Packers fans failed to leave to remember is that was week 1 of the season.
6 months ago.
That was 6 months ago. The way I look at this, sure, being an Eagles fan, from that game, Jalen Hurts took a long, hard look in the mirror and said, hold on, I got to change this.
Yeah.
Threw 3 interceptions for the entire rest of the season. That's it.
A week 1 game, wasn't that, correct me if I'm wrong, was that not even played in either of their home
Brazil.
stadiums?
That was a Brazil game.
Brazil.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mike says 6 months ago, my Jets had playoff hope. So exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Me too, Mike. I enjoyed my life 6 months ago. Now the Jets just give me constant misery. Anyway.
We got a whole offseason to talk about them, buddy.
I know the offseason is my favorite part. That game is absolutely no barometer. A game in Brazil ages ago is no barometer for a playoff game.
10:45 in the morning. You know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for our second and final slab or no slab giveaway of the day. Send us into the weekend strong. We're going to get a little slab action, get a little definitive action, and we're going to get playoff football all weekend long. Can't get much better than that. All right, we got Ben getting it up. Thank you, Ben. It is up. One off the list. I got a Michael Jordan card go off already. But Ben, if you wouldn't mind, sir, get the Packers highlights up from last season, Aaron, because I'm just trying to keep myself honest. I'm an Eagles fan, as we all know. I'm going to be laying the number with the Birds because ultimately, I think the Eagles, I don't want to say wallop, but assert themselves in this game.
10-point game.
And they do, yeah, and they control this game because of their defense. Without Christian Watson, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, and Darius Slay have been lights out in that secondary. Now, look, to respect to Jaden Reed, I think he's a good player, but Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks
doesn't do it for me.
You know, I do think the Eagles secondary is the factor.
The Packers' effectiveness in their receiving group is the strength in numbers, is the unpredictability of where the ball is going out of their four guys, Dobbs, Watson.
Forgot about Dobbs. Yes, that's the other one.
Wicks.
Yeah, that's really
and,
it. Jaden Reed. Yeah.
Now that you take one, probably the biggest deep play threat out of that equation as well, I don't think that. I think it hurts the whole receiving core. It makes Jaden Reed's life harder. It makes Romeo Dobbs' life harder, and it just does. Again, it's all about the matchup here. Now, the ability to run the ball on the Packers and the ability to stop the pass.
Now, hold on though, because like I said, we are clearly picking the Eagles in this game. This was a 7.5 point spread last season. Mm-hmm. Packers were 7.5 point underdogs in this game against the Cowboys last season. This was the Jordan Love coming out party.
Yes.
Looking at these highlights, man, this was dominant. This was just absolutely boom, boom, boom from the first kick of this game. Do you think there's a way the Packers can win this game watching these highlights back? How do the Packers win this game?
Yeah, stop the run. It's they have to be on the field. They have to keep the Eagles defense on the field. If they can keep if the Packers win time of possession in this game, they're going to win that game. I don't think it's likely that the Packers win time of possession, but if they do, that's how they win. They got to find a way to get Josh Jacobs in rhythm. It's essential. You need to slow them down.
Love is nice, but other skill positions go to the Eagles, says Mike Monday. I think that's 100% true. I think every skill position goes to the Eagles, but I'm just looking at this game, dude. You would have said the same thing about the Cowboys last season. I mean, think about how exciting the Cowboys were last season. Dak statistically had a great year.
There was something magical about Jordan Love and that Packers team last year. I feel like the magic has faded, though.
Really? I mean, look, I hope that's true, and I do think the injury is a problem from what I've heard, and this is not, like, confirmed. This is not, like, Twitter doctor kind of stuff. It's like kind of like a dead hand where it's not like a structural damage. It's a matter of numbness, pain management, and I've heard it will affect the grip on Jordan Love's throwing. Look, could that all be just a bunch of hubbub? I mean, Tigers fan is saying Malik Willis will run the Packers to a win. I don't know about all that, Tigers fan.
And he's still talking about Brandon Graham as well. Big Brandon Graham guy.
I just can't help but look at these clips here and say I'm a little bit nervous after seeing what the Packers did when we all said these same things last year against the Cowboys. Cook.
That's the point right there, Cook. Exactly.
Ultimately, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, I think where this game is won for the Eagles is on the defensive side of the ball. You said the Packers win this game by stopping the run. I do not think that's possible.
I don't think it is. I'm not going to say it's impossible. I think it's very difficult.
I think the Packers win this game with an early, fast start, which I don't think is impossible.
They need to play.
Eagles this season have been one of the worst teams in the first quarter. They just have not been able to score in the first quarter.
The Eagles are not built to play from behind because Jalen Hurts is not built to be throwing the ball 48 times. So
that is my one concern.
Your analysis of this game far exceeds mine. I suck at this. Do you want to continue the rest of the show?
Tigers fan, keep that same energy. I think you know the Eagles pose the best threat. I'm not going to go out here and puff my chest out and say Eagles beat the Lions, all right? Got to take it 1 week at a time. Packers win this game only with a Joe Namath type deal with the devil. Slow down now, Mike Monday. I think it's a little bit more realistic than that. Spread is 5 or 4.5, depending on where you get it. Barkley, 2 TDs scoring. You know the deal with that one, though, Hoff. Barkley gets tackled at the 1. Jalen Hurts push merchant right there.
I never want to. I'm on Barkley's yards. I'm on his rush attempts. I will never touch Saquon Barkley touchdown.
If you remember last year, LaFleur. Now, most coaches, almost all coaches, you win the coin toss, you defer. LaFleur and the Packers last year, they said, give me the ball.
I think they would do the same thing here.
They would do the same this year. I think if you're the Eagles, they always defer as well. You might consider wanting to take this ball in this game just to try to
Set the tone,
establish a run, go up early, because I think that's the only way the Packers win this game.
I wouldn't do that. I think that's more of a mental thing. I think you have to stay with what you do. I don't think you want to deviate from what your team does. So I think the Eagles almost look, for lack of a better term, insecure if they change how they go about the kickoff and they decide that, like, it's like they're nervous before it started, changing it up.
Point.
Stick with what works. I think the Packers are who need to maybe deviate from some things they've been doing to be successful. I think if the Eagles stick to what has worked with them in the past, they'll be successful.
Cook, 4 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, Birds and Packers, which is, for me, the best possible time, I feel like, to watch a game. You have enough time to come down from either anger or excitement before you go to bed, and it's also not right at 1 o'clock. I don't want to, I'm just getting my day started. I need a little primer.
You can't watch that game in your pajamas.
Right.
You can't watch playoff football.
I'm an adult now, Aaron. I'm not in my pajamas at 1 p.m. I change at 12:30, all right? Come on.
My apologies. I'm still growing into that. At 22, I change at 3.
Well,
maybe when I'm 24, I'll get.
Can't wait. Sorry, but Cook. I see the Bart Scott can't wait, and I can't wait. Yeah, me neither.
Still, the best moment of my Jets fandom life was that game, and I was 8 years old.
I was about to say, do you even remember that game?
Vaguely.
All right, last one on the docket before we just kind of have a grab bag of questions for you. You know what? Let me throw this one out there right now before we get to the last game. Is Nick Sirianni a good head coach?
Yes.
There it is. We got someone to say yes.
I don't like him, but yeah, he is. He's an idiot though, but he knows his football.
Everyone hates Nick Sirianni.
He's not a likable fellow. But that's not the job. The job is win football games. He wins football games.
2 statements can be true. Nick Sirianni is a good head coach. Second statement, Nick Sirianni is pretty much completely reliant on his offensive and defensive coordinators. I think both statements are true.
I would say if you want to do 2 statements are true. Nick Sirianni is a good head coach. Nick Sirianni is also a dweeb.
Oh, don't call him a dweeb. That's my head coach. Cook says he's okay, but if you put him on a crap team, he's nothing. I tend to agree with that, Cook. Sirianni has the most best winning percentage among NFL active
I just
head
didn't
coaches.
lie. Frankly, the image of Sirianni, no matter what he does, unless he's holding the Lombardi trophy, is going to be him chirping at his own fans. Who the hell does that?
They only lost 1 game after that. Just saying.
They got to win the Super Bowl for me to get that taste out of my mouth.
Sam says he needs an attitude adjustment. He may know football, but his attitude is crap.
I agree.
Sirianni must be decent because it sure wasn't Steichen. Freed, I don't know about that. I think the Colts kind of just stink. You know what I mean? I feel like
Anthony Richardson is
yes. I think
Anthony Richardson stinks more than Shane Steichen does.
Bingo. I actually think, like, last year, almost making the playoffs with Minshew, I was like, Steichen might actually be pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say Steichen's actually a pretty great coach.
Who's that? Sirianni? I think Saleh's way cooler than Sirianni.
Saleh's a cool guy. Saleh's not a very good football coach. They're like vice versa. Saleh's a guy I'd run through a brick wall for. Can't coach a football game. Sirianni can't force me to make a sandwich. Wins a football game.
Freeman says AR wouldn't be a top 10 quarterback in college. Jeez. What's up, Patty C?
He's got a bucket hat on today. It's going to be a crazy one.
Oh, man. We got definitive in the store. We're going to get to ripping in just a few minutes here. A little over 6.5 minutes on our giveaway here for a slab or no slab. Last game to get to here. Monday. We're going to save the Vikings-Rams game for Monday. If you guys already have some takes on that, feel free to let me know. But we're going to save that breakdown for Monday because it will be the lone playoff game to break down. Commanders and Bucks. Game happening 15 minutes down the road in good old Ray J, as they call it around here. Beautiful stadium, by the way. Man, rookie quarterback going against, definition of having a chip on your shoulder. Baker Mayfield got his nice, handsome fellow with his little headband walking out.
He's got an upper decky in.
Upper decky lip pillow, as the kids call it. This game should be awesome. I think we will see points in this game. Bucks win this game if what, Aaron?
The Bucks win this game. They can force Jaden Daniels to turn the ball over.
Bingo. I'm 100% in agreement.
And also, I just got to answer Sam's question.
What do we got from Sam?
Here. Sam, this is a slab or no slab special here. We will not be doing this the rest of the day.
So every weekday, 10 a.m. and 10:45 a.m., we have giveaways for slab or no slab. You'll see the list in a few minutes. It's a 50-card list. 3 of those cards are slabs, but everything on the list is at least semi-decent that we give
Sam,
away.
we will be, during our schedule breaking shows, we still have giveaways running all day long,
sir.
so you're going to want to be there for that.
And starting at 11 a.m., we will get into the ripping portion of things. We're just breaking down these football games. I'm with you, though. Bucks win this game, I think, if you're able to make Jaden Daniels look like a rookie. And if you're able to get it going with Baker early. Last week against the Saints, he didn't show up until that second half. I think the Bucks need to make Jaden Daniels look like a rookie.
Todd Bowles is going to need to do his best work.
Oh, no, yeah, Sam, I hear you, Sam. Look, our guys will be talking games all day.
Yeah,
Are you kidding
don't
me?
worry. I'll be talking sports all day, Sam. But what I was going to say.
We're a breaking company, though. You know what I mean? We got to get some cards on the table here. This is just a little fun, like, in-between thing.
Todd Bowles is going to have to do his best work as a defensive coordinator because the Redskins are extremely hard to game plan against because of what they're able to do. Cliff Kingsbury is doing a great job. Jaden Daniels
give him credit,
is
man.
extremely versatile. Todd Bowles is going to have to confuse a rookie quarterback.
Which he has done very well against Jalen Hurts. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
He needs to confuse the quarterback. Jaden Daniels is great. He's the offensive player of the year. I think he has an MVP in his future, potentially. Rookie quarterbacks, it is hard to win playoff games. It is harder to win playoff games on the road. It is
100%.
even harder to win rookie playoff games on the road versus an experienced, defensive-minded head coach with a solid defense at his disposal. They're going to be mixing up looks on Daniels. They're going to be showing zone blitzing. They're going to be showing blitz, playing zone. It's going to be everything all over the place. They're going to have to mix it up. They're going to have to be all over the zone read. I'm not too worried about Brian Robinson and the standard running game. I'd be more worried about containing the offense, limiting the big plays, stopping Jaden Daniels from scrambling for first downs on third down.
So let me flip this out there. Let's flip it over to the other side because it's, in my opinion, this game is just simple. The Commanders win this game if Jaden Daniels doesn't look like a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
If Jaden Daniels looks like the quarterback we saw for, I don't know, what would you say, 75% of the season for Daniels, if that's the guy that we see in this game, I think the Commanders win this game, man. And I know it's like not that crazy of a take. It's only a 3-point spread. As an Eagles fan, it pains me to say this, but as a neutral fan, as someone who would have buying cards, freaking love Jaden Daniels. He's a fantastic television.
God.
I don't
One
think...
of the most sneaky, great rookie seasons, not just recently, of all time.
I feel like this Buccaneers linebacking core, when they made their last Super Bowl run, sure, look, Tom Brady certainly didn't hurt. Having Devin White, a young Devin White, being able to run with Alvin Kamara, being able to quarterback spy mobile quarterbacks. Levante David, he's fantastic, man.
He's also 93 years old.
Vita Vea, great in the middle. But in that interior, you have bigger, you have older guys. And I am concerned, look, Todd Bowles can game it up with the zone blitzes, send pressure from different gaps. The athleticism up the middle, to me, I don't think it's up to snuff to contain Jaden Daniels. I am picking the Commanders to win this game. That is my upset pick of the weekend.
I don't hate it. Yeah, I did. I don't hate it. I think this is certainly a close game.
Oh boy, Mike Monday, gold kaboom room from as well. Let's go, Mike Monday. That's crazy. Cook, in terms of Vegas, it is.
Yeah,
you
in terms
kidding
of
me?
Vegas.
3-point dog, road rookie quarterback, team that won 4 wins last year.
Again,
that's an upset.
It's just hard for me personally. I just keep coming back to it is as great as Jaden Daniels is. It is hard for me to envision rookie quarterback on the road, experienced,
I understand.
defensive-minded head coach. I don't think this is Buccaneers. I mean, it is obviously the players have to play the game, they have to execute.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think this is Buccaneers versus Commanders. I think this is Todd Bowles versus Cliff Kingsbury.
Okay. And I would slightly take Todd Bowles, but Cliff Kingsbury has won my heart over.
He's
a little
done
bit
great.
more this season.
Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, this is his first playoff game calling the plays. I'm a little worried about the Commanders trying to be a little too cute here. I think that's where.
What do you mean by that? Too cute?
Yeah, I think maybe if they're again, I'm coming back to the word almost insecure in a sense. If they need to start whipping out these trick plays and whatnot to beat them, if Cliff Kingsbury is trying to do too much to try to beat Bowles, if he overthinks it, because everyone knows this is a chess match. If he overplays his, I don't know how to play chess, so I don't know a proper analysis. But
Rook to B5.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever overthinking a chess move is, and then doing something stupid. I think Kingsbury is going to do that, and I think that's going to be where the turnover happens.
So you're going Buccaneers because of coaching.
I'm going Buccaneers because I think they have the better coaching
Fair
staff,
enough.
and I just think that the style that they play is more sustainable in a playoff atmosphere at home
I agree on the
than
coaching standpoint.
the Commanders' play style is on the road.
And listen, man, and I hear you, and I know it's crazy to pick the rookie quarterback. Jaden Daniels is the best rookie QB I've seen since C.J. Stroud, and
Yeah.
we saw how he did in the first
The
round.
last thing I want to say also, because I'm about to be kicked out of here,
Get out of here. What do we got?
penalties. That's going to be
Penalties.
the deciding factor in this game.
Remember it.
Penalties, the Commanders are going to be penalized a ton.
Let's do it. Slab or no slab, the final one of the day. Who's taking it down? And I'm sorry, couldn't get to everyone's questions here. June 12. Let's
Congratulations,
go,
June
June.
Turt.
Congratulations. Let's see what we got. This is our list. If this is your first time seeing this,
25 spots.
1, 25, and 50 are the cards that we are looking for that are slabbed up. Let's see what we got. Oh, 47. Oh, so close, but no cigar. What is 47? Is this one of our higher cards? I feel like it is. 47 is going to be, yes, it is. This is one of our higher end non-slabs on the list. June, this is a good one to have. Zion Williamson, White Sparkle Premier Level, June. There's a few cards on here that aren't slab, but still damn nice cards that we're giving away. And Zion Williamson, listen, we talked about it last week. Could he get traded? He's back on the court. Take a look at that. That is a White Sparkle Premier Level Zion card. Maybe slab it up now, hold it, and wait for him to get back, and that'll ROI. Comps on it, not the highest right now, which is why I was able to get it on the list for you. But give it a couple months. Give it a couple months. That might be a huge one there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here you go. Believe me, take my word for it here. Zion Williamson, White Sparkle, Premier Level, for the free. Big congrats to June Turt. That is a sweet one. Yes, Mike, you're absolutely right about that. Question about the Rams game. We'll be talking about that Rams game on Monday. I think that's a good question, whoever asked that. Oh, Godzilla asked that. It's a good question. But guys, that is going to do it for Talkin Slab and Slab or No Slab. We're going to send it over to our guys, Patty C and Aaron. We have a definitive triple threads and Bowman mixer. Little something for everybody. We got definitive release day all day if you guys missed it. Shohei Ohtani, Kanji, 1-of-1 auto for the first time. Absolutely bonkers. With that, we're going to send it over to our breaking room. Appreciate all the conversation today, guys. Have a fantastic weekend. Go Birds. I'll see you back on Monday, but don't go anywhere. 24-hour stream. We'll be ripping nonstop until I see you guys on 9:30 next Monday. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Go Birds. We're out of here at Sunco Sports.